The first comment I'm going to be addressing here is from Clint Bus 7708. We'll flash it on the screen so you can see. The question here was, I have very little after-tax money in my portfolio. I sort of assumed that my biggest challenge if I retire by 62 would be paying for health insurance. I assumed that Roth conversions would be helpful here. Am I wrong? So no, you're not entirely wrong, although there is some nuance and complexity here that's worth talking about. And some of this does require a bit of distinction, and you're not here obviously to answer my questions. So I'm just going to work through the logic out loud. So the core question is here is, do Roth conversions help or hurt someone's ability to be eligible for Affordable Care Act premium subsidies before getting on Medicare? The issue is that before Medicare, health insurance is very expensive. The cost of health insurance premiums is pegged to your taxable income. And therefore, Clint's question here is, or thought is, well, if I have tax-free sources of income, potentially I'm going to be more eligible for lower cost health insurance premiums, which is totally correct. Now, the area that would need some distinction here, Clint, is when are you doing those Roth conversions? So if you have very little after-tax money in your portfolio, which is what you've said, and you're assuming that Roth conversions will be helpful, what really matters is when the conversions get done. If you do the Roth conversions, or really Roth contributions while you're working, so that you set yourself up with a pathway to access that Roth money as a source of funds to live on while you're in those bridge years between when you leave your employer and no longer have employer-related health insurance coverage, and you move to a pre-Medicare private insurance policy, and you use those Roth funds as a way to produce the spending money you need in order to have the quality of life you'd like, but reduce what shows up on your tax returns, then yes, presumably it would be a useful, valuable tool. However, if what you're planning to do is, let's say, retire at 62, and then perform Roth conversions in the bridge years from retirement through, let's say, Medicare age, or even Social Security claiming age, which might be after Medicare age, then Roth conversions actually hinder that effort, because Roth conversions create a source of taxable income that cannot be used for living expenses. Essentially, what you're doing is you're taking money out of a pre-tax account. It creates taxable income on your tax return. You're then paying the tax and then cycling that money back into your Roth account, which means you're not using it for living. And then what you have to do is go find your living money elsewhere. And if you don't have a source of after-tax funds to live on, presumably what you'd be doing is you'd either be living off of a pension or Social Security or other additional pre-tax withdrawals that further increase your taxable income and therefore reduce your eligibility for those very cost-effective, highly valuable pre-Medicare Affordable Care Act health insurance subsidies. Hopefully I've explained that in a way that makes sense. Now, this is not advice. This is just education. I should have given that disclaimer at the beginning. Obviously everyone's individual case is totally unique. And without the context of your individual actual account balances, income sources, it's hard to know exactly what the right route is here. But the main distinction that should be cleared up, and this is broadly applicable and useful for everybody to understand, is that Roth conversions create taxable income. And so if you're doing them in the years that you would like to qualify for health insurance subsidies, they work against each other, right? So the ideal framework here is to do a cost benefit analysis and say, let me back that up. The ideal framework here would be to say, can I do Roth contributions or save after-tax money before I retire, so I have a source of after-tax money that I can use for living expenses, and then I could perform potentially Roth conversions in conjunction with qualifying for ACA subsidies. In lieu of that opportunity, if you don't have that opportunity, the next best element would be to do a cost-benefit analysis and say, is it more valuable for me to try to qualify for the health insurance subsidies at the expense, or in plain English, and not do Roth conversions, and do my Roth conversions later? Let's say after 65, when I'm on Medicare and the IRMA brackets, the tax cliffs that I have to stay under, are more forgiving. In general, that's the route that most of my videos point towards. Again, not a recommendation, but just that, it depends on what type of planning you've done beforehand. I hope that's helpful, Clint. Real quick, let me show you the exact 3-pillar comprehensive retirement roadmap that takes retirees from uncertainty to peace of mind that less than 1% of retirees actually have in place. Now, I've built hundreds of these for retirees, and I can say with a high degree of confidence that these are the 3 pillars every retiree needs to have in place in order to have full confidence that they're not missing anything in their retirement plan. And I broke each of these down by the specific questions. You can see them here that each needs to be answered and the best way to answer them. Now, we've done this across pre-retirees, recent retirees, married couples, single retirees, $1 million portfolios, $10 million portfolios, all the above, and it works. And it's my gift to you today. It's absolutely free. It's in the first link in the description below this video. It's going to say free comprehensive retirement roadmap training. Just click the link, enter your info, and you'll get instant access all for free.